Yo, what is up, folks? This is Johnny Bnq Jividin coming back with you with a new episode of the Bnq and Goof show. We're here live in Philly, going to the game, on our way to the game right now as we speak. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Nick Goof Golf, finally in the flesh.
How you guys been?
Yeah, he's back from rehab. They actually kicked him out. We're not supposed to talk about that.
I was not welcome.
Yeah, it was actually racially motivated. Anyway, we're going to cut out that part later. Anyway, we're on our way to the game. Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles having a great season this year. Golf, what do you think about the Eagles so far?
Eagles look like the best team in the NFC.
They really do. They really do. Jalen Hurts looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's killing it. Great offense, great defense. What do you think? What's your prediction for the game against the Jaguars today?
Eagles by 40.
Eagles by 40? Are you being serious or are you pulling my chain, man?
Nah, I'll probably take Eagles by 10 at least.
I'm thinking, if I'm giving a score prediction, I'm thinking Eagles 31, Jaguars 17. I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty handily defeated game. Pretty handily. The Eagles will handedly defeat the Jaguars. That's what I'm going for. I had to get it out. All right. So the betting odds, I think Eagles are -6.5. Would you take that action, Goff?
Easily.
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, the Jaguars definitely look better than they did last year. Who'd they beat last week? They beat a pretty good team.
They beat Washington. Washington only scored 2 points.
No, I'm talking about who Jaguars beat last week.
Jaguars beat the Chargers.
Yeah, and Chargers are pretty good. So
It should be a good game.
it could be a good game. It could be closer than we expect. But that's just how good we think the Eagles are playing this year. So we would definitely take the spread. The over-under at 43.5. I think, let me think, if they go 31-17, then yeah, for sure.
You gotta take the over.
Yeah, I got to take the over. I think that would go good. Moving on, let's talk about the Phillies games last night, Golf. How'd the Phillies look? I think they looked pretty bad in one game. Well, not bad, but
No, they look terrible.
well,
They look terrible
in
the first
a
game.
in a double header, like you can get that sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as long as they bounce back, they won one game, that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been nice if they won two. Would have taken less stress from them to make the playoffs, but
Yeah, because they gotta.
it is what it is.
Goff informed me earlier they gotta win 3 of their next 4 games. They got one more game against the Nationals.
But that's
3.
also dependent on how the Brewers do, too.
All right.
So if the Brewers lose the next 4 games, then we're good.
Yeah. Well, who are the Brewers? I don't know who the Brewers are playing.
Brewers are playing the Marlins.
Oh crap.
And I forget who they're playing next.
So it's not a lock yet that we're in the playoffs. There could be some struggle to get into playoffs depending on how the other teams, like Marlins or not.
They're playing the Diamondbacks after they're done playing the Marlins.
Yeah, so those are 2 pretty winnable series for the Brewers. And we got one more. So hopefully, if we win this next game against the Nationals, which is the easiest game on our schedule remaining.
And we just have to win 2 against the Astros, and then we
gotta
can make
win.
the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Astros are a pretty good team. They're already locked into the playoffs. It could be tough. It's not a lock yet. I think on last week's episode I said we were basically a lock for the last
You would think it's a lock, but they kept on blowing games to the Cubs.
Oh yeah, because I'm like the Cubs is like for sure they're going to win every single game.
Yeah, you would think, but then they didn't even win one. Right?
Yeah, it sucks. It stinks. It's not what we expected. And there's a pretty solid shot we don't make the playoffs. But let's be honest, if we make the playoffs, it's probably going to be first, maybe second round exit. Because what they'd play like the Dodgers second round, wouldn't they?
Probably. I mean, it depends on.
They'd be a 4 or 5 wild card.
Yeah.
And so then the winner would play. So they'd play either the.
Braves.
Yeah, oh yeah, so the Braves would be tough because they got.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean,
it's going to be tough for them to make it far in the playoff. But then again, playoffs.
You never know.
It's as long as you get your foot in the door, you got a chance. So, I mean, the Dodgers look like the best team in baseball.
This is the closest we've been to the playoffs in years.
Yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is. If we can make the playoffs, that's good. That's a better season than I thought.
It's been almost 10 years since the Phillies made the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's a better season than I thought we'd have. Especially halfway through the year, I thought we weren't going to make the playoffs.
Especially when Bryce Harper got hurt.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know when he was going to be coming back. Of course, after he's out with the injury, you never know how he's going to look coming back. But let's just hope they win out the rest of the games this season, and get in the playoffs hot. Because if you roll into the playoffs hot, that could really help you get a run going.
I mean, that's how the Nationals won the World Series.
Yeah,
they came into the playoffs hot.
Yeah, and they got rid of Bryce Harper.
That's true.
But maybe we should
and same thing with the Braves. How dare you say that about Bryce Harper?
What? I didn't even get it fully out of my mouth.
Never say that. You take that back.
I'm just joking. Okay.
It's God savior right there.
Yeah, he's obviously the best player on the team. If we got rid of him, we would stink.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Well, I mean, we got some other good players.
No, we stink.
You don't think Rhys Hoskins is a good player?
I believe Rhys Hoskins is a great player, but
I don't know how to pronounce his first name.
Obviously not. I think Rhys Hoskins is a great player. We just need. I don't think
his name is like no vowels in it.
I don't think hitting is our issue. I have always thought the bullpen and the pitching have been our main.
Yeah,
concern.
our only really solid starting pitcher is
Wheeler.
Yeah,
and he has some questionable outings.
Yeah, he's not a super duper consistent guy.
And same thing with Nola. I mean, he's good, but he's not consistent.
Yeah, that's the reason they got rid of him on his last stop with help me out here, Goff. I'm not a big baseball guy.
What do you mean?
Nola
was always on the Phillies. You're talking about Wheeler. Wheeler was on the Mets.
Oh, fuck. That's why I was like, I'm like, he used to play for the Nets, but then I'm like, no, he didn't play for the Nets. What am I thinking of? All right, so I'm a moron. I'm not a big baseball guy. That's why Goff's here. The only team I follow I watch Phillies games sometimes. So, but anyway, moving on with that. So, yeah, we're going to be at the game. We're going to be doing some promotions at the game. I didn't tell you about this, Goff. We're going to be at the game. When we're at the game, we're going to go up to fans. So if you're listening to this, the game's already over and we're already gone from the stadium probably, because I'm obviously not going to be able to post this until I get back from the game. So if you're hearing this, it doesn't matter. But if you're somehow hearing this and you're not at the game yet, when we're at the game, we'll be giving out promotions. I got $100 for anybody who correctly guesses the score of the game. I put this out on social media, but nobody follows our social media yet, so it doesn't matter. And I'm giving out free beers to anyone who subscribes to the channel. I'm buying free beers. So, Goff, you can get free beer. You haven't subscribed to the fucking channel yet. So. This guy doesn't even know. He doesn't even know I recorded an episode by myself last week. He hasn't even watched the video.
Telling everybody I went to rehab.
You did. Well, obviously you didn't, because you still got a drinking problem. You're drinking free beers. Anyway, so we're going to do that at the stadium, or I might try to do that at the stadium. Maybe people will just think we're freaks.
There's a good possibility of that.
There's a good possibility that nobody will want to talk to. Who's this freak trying to talk to me? That's what I would. Honestly, that might not work. As I'm getting there, I'm thinking about people's perception. If a guy were to come up to me, hey, do you have a minute? I'd say, hey, fuck you.
You gotta remember this is Philly too, so
yeah. So that we're probably not going to do that. Nobody's going to come up and talk to us.
It's a good possibility. Everyone just tells us to go fuck ourselves.
I'll try it once, and they'll tell me. Yeah, they're going to tell me who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? But
so
we're going to be at the game. We're going to I'll timidly try to introduce ourselves to fans. As I'm getting here, I'm starting to think it's not as good an idea as I thought it would be. That's really all we got for this week of an episode. And, we're looking forward to being at the game. It's nice. It's great to finally be out in Philly. I'm looking at places while I'm here in Philly. Well, not yet, but I will tomorrow, hopefully. And, I'm not going to leave this in the video, but I'm honestly not going to look at living in Philly. I mean, you want me to live in this shithole fucking Philadelphia? I would have living down in fucking Delaware or something. No, in all seriousness, we're glad to be here in Philly. That's a fucking abandoned ship.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's fucking bullshit. You think I'm going to live here? I'm living fucking Chester. Look at that fucking place.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. This place fucking stinks.
Welcome to downtown Philly.
Welcome down. It was nice 10 minutes down the road. The nicest places. 46th floor.
And over here, you just get one floor.
Yeah, one floor of fucking
shittery.
Dude, I ain't gonna. We're not in the shit. It's just it's just an industrial area.
If you want to call it
that. I'm being polite about it, Goff. Hey, great way to introduce ourselves to the Philadelphia fans. Fucking first day in the city, shit on the town. Hey, we're moving in here. We're hoping to have a bunch of fans. Hey, by the way, your town fucking stinks. We all have sports teams.
Oh, we love the sports team.
We love a sports team.
Just need to clean up the city.
Clean up the city. Vote Republican.
That's not good. That's not gonna fly.
That's not
gonna go over well.
We can keep the part where we shit on the town. We're gonna have to cut that part out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut that part out. But or don't cut the part out. No, we're gonna cut it out. But that's our. After having a little bit of fun with the city of Philadelphia. In all seriousness, we love the city of Philadelphia. We're glad to be here. We're glad to be at the game. We're hoping to see some fans and hoping to interact with some people that don't tell us to fuck off.
That's a good possibility.
There's a 99.9% possibility they'll tell us to fuck off. But we'll see what happens. I might not even attempt it. I'm too timid to try this anyway. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's been our newest episode of the Bnq and Goof show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show, supporting the channel. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is the Bnq and Goof show. Goff, hit him with an inspirational quote before we get out of the game.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, go Birds. Life rips. Bing bong.